box from the old... Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist.
What's up, guys? It is Cairo, back with another video game review. This time, we're talking about Biomutant. But before we get into that, please drop us a subscribe and a like if you rocking with us, you know, if you liking what we've been doing. All right, now let's get into it. For starters, this game is around 10 hours, I think. I cannot get an accurate count because the game kept track of all of the hours that I had the game suspended with my PlayStation at rest mode, which is a first experience for me. And that's kind of if you go straight through the story, with most people reporting 22 for some extras and 40 for completionist. Oof. The story in this game is kind of like medium good to me. Basically, in this world, there are several clans left and they all can't get along and they all have a different idea of how the species should press forward. Some want war, some want peace, and it's kind of up to you to decide who to side with and how things should play out. If you have ever played Civ, you might be reminded of that when the leaders of opposing or allied clans come on screen and talk about how you have upset them or pleased them with your actions. It is very similar. I will say I only did one playthrough, so I'm not sure what changes happen or how many endings there are, and I will get to why that is in the next section.
The duality of evolution.
So I would like to start here by saying I really did enjoy the gameplay for a while. I like the combat and the weapons and upgrades and all of that, and I was having a great time for a while. The main objectives in this game involve taking down 4 main bosses, and basically when you go to each of their respective areas, there's someone with a half-finished vehicle weapon system to help you defeat it. You run a few errands for them and then fight the boss, and that is the whole game. So I was really enjoying myself for around 5 to 6 hours. At some point I realized I hadn't switched armor or weapons for almost the entirety of the game, and it had not hindered me at all. With all of the customization and weapon building, I really hate to see it essentially not matter at all. I beat the entire game with one weapon, basically. I used one gun the whole time once I got it. I've noticed this trend in gaming where every game's gotta be like an RPG, but they don't want to scare people off who don't like RPGs. So what we wind up with is a very watered down in-between hybrid baby that nobody wants. That's really how I started to feel after realizing nothing mattered.
Existential dread.
There's also a karma system that doesn't seem to affect anything other than some of the abilities you can get and the way some dialogue goes on between you and a few of the NPCs. Overall, it really seems like they just tried to bite off a lot more than they could chew with this game. They wanted too many elements, and so we got a whole lot of things, none of which seemed very ironed out. I don't think anyone I know other than maybe John is as disappointed to even have to say this stuff than I am, because I was really looking forward to this game for a long time, and I did wind up burnt out after about the halfway point. This part of the game could very well be what killed the enjoyment for me. The entire game is narrated. The whole thing. Every single NPC interaction is translated to you, and this gets old so fast. I wound up skipping through every single dialogue interaction as fast as I could because this was driving me nuts. I understand they saved money not having all these voice actors, but this was not a good move. I'm telling you, it was the reason I almost put the controller down for good before finishing it. I honestly would have preferred that there was no sound involved with dialogue and I just had to read. I very, very much dislike the dialogue and the narration in this game. That being said, the world around you is very pretty in this game. A lot of beautiful colors and landscapes, but at some point the graphics would tank and it would look like a PS2 game. That was totally aside from frame rate drops, which didn't happen to me too many times, but they did say the PS5 version would run a little shitty at first, and maybe that will be fixed. Maybe it already has, I do not know. Overall, I enjoyed the way the game looked, and I enjoyed riding around and exploring the barren world for goodies. There is a new game plus mode which I started to jump into and just could not bear the burden. I wanted to go with some more evil karma, but it starts you with your endgame karma, and it seemed like it would take a really long time to get it down to the dark side. There is definitely more game to be had here if by the end you aren't tired of it, but I just couldn't take it anymore. I will at some point maybe take a stab at it on a new game with a different class, but I cannot right now. All in all, this game could definitely use some more polish, but I did have a good time for a little while. Had I paid $40 for this, I probably wouldn't complain as much as I have, but for a full price game, this just doesn't deliver what you expect for shelling out that much money. This hurt me personally because I was so in love with this game for the first few hours, and all of the negative feedback was going in one ear and out the other, but it did wear out for me too. And I have to be honest with you guys when it comes to doing these reviews. As much as I enjoyed the first few hours and what this game could be in the future, or if there was a sequel, I definitely cannot recommend it at full price. If you see this game drop to $30, maybe $40, I would say give it a shot, but otherwise I honestly don't think it's worth the price. This one really hurt for me, guys, but I hope I was able to shed some light on this game for you. Maybe I've said something different from some other reviewers, I don't know. But overall, I was left slightly disappointed. I do truly hope they continue to work on this IP in the future because it has potential to be amazing, but it isn't quite there. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to drop us a like and subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on Instagram at Sticks and Stones Gaming, which is where we post a lot, and we do hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.
Imagine having hot food brought to you. That's a putty up a plaza.